Now to the downward spiral of Tiger Woods. Arguably the greatest golfer of all time was arrested at around 3 a.m. on Monday and charged with DUI in Florida. Now, Woods released a statement on Tuesday and said that alcohol was not a factor in the arrest and that it was an unexpected reaction to prescription medication that caused his impairment. The mugshot, it's now going to be part of his legacy for the rest of his life. Maggie, when you heard the news, and we're hearing more today, that Tiger was passed out in his car with the blinker on, the engine running, the toxicology showed no alcohol in his system. So Tiger being truthful and saying that there was no alcohol involved in this situation. But when you heard about the DUI, what was the first emotion? Was it empathy or was it scorn?
First emotion is scorn. You're 41 years old. You know better that if you're not feeling well, if you are impaired in any way, don't get behind the wheel of a car. He's lucky he didn't injure himself, kill somebody else. I mean, all that aside, the first thing I said is scorn, because you're too old, you're too smart, and you're too rich to have something like this happen. Leave the car where it is. Get a ride. I mean, when things like this happen, my first thing is just how much of an idiot could you be. Then you start hearing more, and my tone kind of turned to empathy. This is someone who's had 4 back surgeries in very recent memory, and anyone who's either had a back surgery or knows someone who's had it, it is so incredibly painful that you can understand why he'd be taking medication to try to dull that pain. Now, why he's out driving at 3 a.m., I don't know. But if you do have some empathy that if he is in so much pain and he is taking these prescriptions, that, yeah, perhaps he's in a dark and a lonely spot where he's rehabbing. The game of golf, as he posted on his website, still very far away. He's taking it day by day. He can't twist. He's at least 2 to 3 months away from probably even swinging a golf club in a meaningful way. So then I start to feel a little bit of empathy that, you know, something that he loved, he's trying to make this comeback, has now been taken away from him.
Yeah, my first emotion initially was sadness and seeing how far he has fallen from the pinnacle where he was. Sure. But that sadness came with a lack of shock. This did not surprise me. This downward spiral started in 2009 with his scandal, and it's been going downhill ever since. And honestly, I thought about this yesterday before I saw the news. I thought, I don't think this is booze. This has something to do with drugs. And you know about the 4 back surgeries. The back surgeries are painful. He's been on a ton of pain medication for a better part of 10 years now. You know, there was the reports that he was heavily taking Ambien for quite a long time, Vicodin for the pain, and it's kind of concerning more than everything to me because I don't think this is rock bottom. I had a lot of people ask me yesterday, is this it? Is he bottoming out? I don't think so, and that's kind of scary because people who are on prescription drugs, we've seen this in many sports, especially in football, they get addicted to prescription drugs, and that leads to other problems. And I hope that's not the case down the road for Tiger Woods, but
well, he has the money and the resources to get this problem fixed.
But you mentioned something very important here. Loneliness. Tiger Woods does not have a big group of friends. He has a couple close friends. One of them's his agent. One of them's Nota Begay, who he played with at Stanford, is now on Golf Channel. Other than that, he calls all these guys his friends on the PGA Tour, but they were guys he hung out with a little bit while at tournaments. He didn't spend time with many other people outside of the game. He's very private. He's never been very forthcoming with, you know, getting a view into his personal life. Sure. So when you talk about loneliness, yeah, what does Tiger have? Tiger's had golf and golf only his entire life. And he doesn't have that right now, and he doesn't know what else to do with himself.
Okay, so does this cloud your view of him as a golfer?
I think it does. And when you talk about the greatest of all time, there's always been the debate, Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus. Who is the greatest of all time? Tiger's, of course, come short of the major championship record, 4 short of Jack's record of 18. But when you talk about the greats, the greatest of all time, I think you kind of look at what they did outside of the game as well, whether that's community service, involvement with different charities, the life they lived outside of the game. Jack Nicklaus was fairly squeaky clean. He had an all-American image. When you look at Arnold Palmer, he did so much more away from the game of golf than he did actually on it, which enhanced his image as one of the greats in the game. This impacts it for me, Maggie. I was one of those Tiger fans that thought we would never see anyone like this. He is the greatest of all time. And now I look at the entire big picture, and I don't know if I can put that label on him.